Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden strategy behind those messages you get from organizations you support. It's what I call the art of connection, and it all starts with making you feel like you're actually seen.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You open an email and it just feels so generic, like it could have been sent to literally a million other people. But you know what? The smartest organizations out there are working really hard to change that whole experience.
And here's what that change looks like in action. On the left, you've got Dear Friend. It's nice, sure, but it's super vague. But look at the right. Hi, Sophie. Your gift kept 126 kittens safe during the blizzard. See? That's not just a message, it's a story. It has a real, tangible impact. One feels distant, and the other, it creates an instant, powerful connection.
So let's dive into our first section, moving beyond Dear Donor, and really understanding the power of personalization.
Because when a message is truly personal, it does something amazing. It shows genuine appreciation. It transforms what could feel like a simple transaction into a real partnership. It makes supporters feel like they are a vital, critical part of the mission.
Okay, on to Section 2, knowing your supporters. This is so important because it all starts with this foundation. You have to understand who you're actually talking to.
And a big part of how this is done is through something called segmentation. You wouldn't talk to a first-time donor the same way you talk to a loyal, long-time supporter, right? And someone who loves email needs a totally different approach than someone who only responds to texts. Understanding all these little nuances is what makes communication so much more effective.
Now, you might hear a term like predictive analytics and think it sounds super complex, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. It's all about using past data to anticipate what supporters might do next. This lets organizations be proactive. They can see who might be ready to give again, or maybe who needs a little extra attention before they drift away.
And make no mistake, using data this way is a total game changer. As Sarah Lee puts it, it's about making data-driven decisions to cultivate stronger relationships. It's about way more than just numbers. It's about using real insights to build better, more meaningful connections.
Okay, so once you really get your audience, it's time for Section 3, crafting the perfect message. This is where you turn all that data into a real, genuine conversation.
And again, the difference is it's stark. Your gift was helpful. I mean, that's completely forgettable. But your $50 gift provided warm meals for 10 people this week. Wow, that's powerful. Those specific, tangible details create a story of impact that a donor can really see and feel.
This really is the magic of storytelling. When you focus on an individual, when you make the donor the hero of the story, and you keep it totally authentic, that's how you create a message that connects on a much, much deeper level.
You know, probably the best piece of advice on this comes from Mark Mailing, who says to write like you're talking to a friend. That warm, conversational tone, it's everything. It just cuts through all the noise and makes the communication feel real and genuine.
All right, so you've got the right audience, you've written the perfect message. Now what? Well, you have to deliver it. And that brings us to Section 4, choosing the right channel.
And here's the thing, there is no single best way to communicate. It's not one size fits all. Email is amazing for broad updates, but you can't beat a phone call for that personal touch. Texts? Perfect for urgent reminders. And good old-fashioned direct mail gives people something tangible. The whole key is knowing your audience and what they prefer.
So the real strategy here is all about matching the message to the medium. You wouldn't send a 10-page report in a text message, right? That urgent appeal works perfectly via text, while that detailed annual report is going to shine in an email or a letter. It's all about using each channel for its unique strengths.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but how in the world can anyone do this for thousands of supporters? Well, the answer to that brings us to Section 5, scaling with technology.
Believe it or not, modern platforms make all of this totally manageable. They bring all that data into one place, and then they can trigger automated, personalized messages based on exactly what a person does. And the best part? This frees up the actual human beings to focus on what they do best, building real relationships, not just managing data all day.
All right, we're on to our last big piece of the puzzle. You've implemented this amazing strategy, but how do you know if it's actually working? Let's talk about measuring what matters.
Success isn't just a vague feeling. You have to track it. And you do that by asking the right questions. Are more people opening our emails? Are our donors sticking around and giving again? Is the average gift size going up? These are the kinds of metrics that show you exactly what impact your personalized approach is having.
And this is absolutely crucial to remember. This is not a set-it-and-forget-it strategy, not even close. The best organizations are constantly testing and learning, seeing which subject lines work best, which stories get the biggest response. It's a continuous cycle of improvement.
Because when you boil it all down, all of this stuff, the data, the stories, the technology, it all serves one profound goal: to build genuine, lasting relationships that are based on trust and shared values.
So, I'll leave you with this little challenge. The next time a message from a cause you care about lands in your inbox, don't just glance at it. Take a closer look. Now that you know what's happening behind the scenes, will you be able to see the strategy behind the story?